We begin with a major multi-state crackdown on a catalytic converter theft ring with 7 people from here in Western Mass at the center of it. Welcome everyone to Western Mass News at 6 on this Wednesday. I'm Chris Pisano. We have live team coverage tonight as we dig into the details of this investigation, beginning with Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell. Kristen?
Chris, investigators are calling the leader of the group extremely organized. One woman in Agawam is describing what she woke up to this morning as FBI agents raided her neighbor's house.
Multiple vehicles, lots of lights, lots of noise, and a lot of chaos. And just not knowing what's going on. That was a little unsettling.
Deb Bryan-Sesko of Feeding Hills describing what she woke up to on Wednesday morning as FBI agents raided her neighbor's home on Southwest Street.
I've seen them, wave to them, when you drive by, that kind of stuff, but never had conversation. Seen her walk the dog a few times, but that's it.
Investigators spoke out on Wednesday, sharing that raid was in connection to a larger investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office, involving 7 members of an organized theft crew who were arrested in connection to thefts across the region, including catalytic converters stolen from over 470 vehicles.
Earlier this morning, hundreds of law enforcement partners arrested 7 individuals for their alleged involvement in a multi-state theft ring responsible for over $2 million in estimated losses for hundreds of victims across Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
Those 7 individuals, all from Western Mass, now face federal charges, including Rafael Davila of Feeding Hills, who investigators say headed up the operation.
The alleged ringleader in this organized group of thieves is Rafael Davila, who meticulously planned each and every theft, keeping detailed records outlining the locations his crew targeted, the costs associated with the crimes, and where the stolen property was delivered.
The FBI described him as extremely organized and says they were able to quickly connect the dots once they discovered he used his maroon Acura to transport each targeted theft, before the crew allegedly sold the valuable car parts to a man named Jose Torres.
Once in the possession of the stolen converters, our investigation found Rafael Davila routinely transferred them to middleman Jose Torres, who we believe stockpiled thousands of them from multiple burglary crews and transported them to buyers in Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey for a hefty profit.
Torres is accused of bringing in between $30,000 to $880,000 per week to those buyers who are also now facing charges. Reporting live in studio, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.